Alright, this probably won't be a super exciting video, but as you can see, I've been working. I got stuff everywhere, all of my workbench stuff. So I did get all the rear subframe drop stuff off of the rear and the drive shaft. So I'll do a little video just showing that, but more I'm going to do more a detailed video when I put the new one on the other CRV. I figured that'd be more, that'd be a better way to go than taking it off in there, because I got to get this one done. So what I got left on my lifted CRV, which is going to be the lowered one now, is I got to take the subframe, the front subframe off, and the engine subframe drop, and put in the new rack and pinion. Then I got to put the True Heart coilovers all the way around and tighten everything up, swap the fenders, swap the intake. I have a cold air intake that I'll do a video on. It's pretty simple. You can get off of a EK, but it looks like it's going to fit really well and go down in that hole good. But I was going to do a simple video here because this is something that I think a lot of people are going to start doing if you're going to keep your CRV. Being that they are all hitting 20 years old, or if not close to it. I think it's, honestly, I'll give Honda props, because it seems like around 20 years, everybody seems to be needing a rack and pinion. So for them to last that long, it's pretty impressive. Not saying that's everyone. Actually, I think this is coming out of the other end, but this is a new rack and pinion from Detroit Axle. And looks like it's coming right out of the box here. It's a little bit more beat up, but yeah, from Detroit Axle, you can see it on the box. I got something to say about them too that I'll explain. I like them, but I had a quarrel with them, and something I'll explain to you guys so you don't get stuck in it. Now, I've had this sitting here for like 2 months. As you guys know, I just haven't been able to get to things because of just life. Cool thing with these guys is they have a core charge. You send it back in that box, wrapped up. I don't know if you got to pay for shipping or if it comes with it. I don't see a shipping label in the box, so I'm gonna have to reach out to them and ask. I might be past the time. It's only 15 bucks, but I see this 15 bucks, 15 or 20, and you know, it gives them stock to fix these so that way other people have them, so we're not running out of stock on them, which is nice. So if you can, always send your core in. Now this is my first take and look on it. This is pretty solid. I'm actually really impressed with this. This is a good looking rack. It looks to be built very, very well. The new bushings are in there very tight. They don't look sloppy. The hard lines seem very well done. The boots seem very decent. The inner tie rods, I'll give you a look at that. The threads for where your steering linkage is going to go look very done well. Very not sometimes you get these from different companies other than, you know, OEM from like Honda, and they just look jacked up and they cause problems. I've done rack and pinions on some other Hondas. This can be my first time doing it on the CRV. I'm gonna try to get a how-to video for you guys, but I also got to get this done in case the whole world does go to shit with this whole coronavirus thing and I can't get alignment done and things like that for quite some time. So I'm trying to hurry up and get this thing on the ground while the shops are still open and get an alignment set up. You just never know anymore. Stuff's changing every single day, every couple of hours, something new. But hopefully we'll all make it through this clean and good and get there and be ordering more car parts. That being said, even some car parts I've ordered, I think I said this in my last video, 1320 had to refund my money. I ordered some tires, another set of tires. They couldn't get them. They couldn't get it out. Couldn't get their warehouse. I bought some ammo. I was trying to stock up. They don't even know when they're going to get their ammo back from their head supplier that supplies all around the country. So it's just crazy, man. I don't think people are realizing that this affects people getting sick and everything. This affects more than just, the virus of you getting sick. Affects, the whole country and trade lines and everything else. So hopefully it goes over quick so we can get more car parts. But yeah, this looks pretty damn solid. So yeah, $15, you get your old one, put back in the box, send off, you'll get your core charge. I am really surprised with this. So what I wanted to tell you guys is Detroit Axle has been awesome for everything I've ever ordered them. But this makes sense because if you look down here, I'll get out of the way, but you could see it when I was holding it if you want to reverse back in the video. These boots are much smaller. So I ordered new boots and new inner and outer tie rods. I did on both my CRVs, hoping that I could save this rack and pinion, but mine's just shot. So I can't see the part number because it's covered by the like the steel tie. It's like steel zip tie. But the part number on these are BL2302, if you can see that. So they sent me these, Detroit Axle did, and another company that is normally around. I can't remember the name of them. They're very well known, and they sent them to me, and I was like, hey, these aren't right. These aren't the right size. These are not the OEM size. And sure enough, they're not. So it's got to be the size of, I don't want to pull these out. I'll double check because I don't want to pull them out because when I install it, I want them pushed in, then I'll pull them out and I'll double check, see if the boot is different. But this makes sense now. And this is what I thought. I think the remanufactured steering racks have these smaller boots. What you need, if you're going to replace your OEM boots on your OEM rack, you need these bigger boots. See the difference? Look at that diameter. You will not get this boot around. And if you do, it's crazy and it's not going to fit right. So these are part number BT499. This is what Honda recommends. If you go there and find a boot from them and get the same size, measure it up, this is the size of the original boot on your OEM rack. For 99 and 2000. The other years, I don't know, but I can tell you it's the same thing on my 99 manual and the same thing on my 2000 automatic. This is a pain in the ass because you got to find these part numbers and get this. If your steering rack is good still and you just want to replace the inner and outer tie rods, you're going to want to search for this part number boot. You can find them on eBay, Amazon, and other spots on the website, and you think you can have these ordered at a parts store, but if not, they're going to give you this. That is a big difference. And I see why, because I think that's the boot for all the replacements. I have a feeling that not only Detroit Axle, I have a feeling on all of the remanufactured racks, they probably went with this boot. Now, what I'd recommend, instead of all the headache, is these cars are 20-something years old. If yours is leaking, you have any indication that you think you're going to have to replace it, just replace it and go with that from that on, so you don't have to worry about trying to go through the boot problem. And then I think if you ever have to replace them, if you keep the car long term like I'm planning to, you'll be fine. I think eventually they're going to phase out these bigger boots, which I don't know why they changed. I don't know if it was just a simple mistake or an error, or if they were like, hey, these fit better with the new racks. But Detroit Axle, and I get it now. I get it. They kind of argued with me. They're like, no, that's not the right. That's the right boot. And I was like, no. And I went through a whole spiel with them and the other company. And I was like, this is not the right boot. I had to get the OEM Honda part. So they were confused too. I think it's much like the axles. The O'Reilly axles, the AutoZone axles, the Advance axles. They're all shit. It's not that they're horrible made. They're not long enough. The splines aren't tight enough on your intermediate shaft and in your transmission. There's a wobble. Napa axles are a little bit better, but I wish I kept my OEM axles and had them rebuilt. I really do. I don't know how the Insane Shaft, I think, is the brand that builds them. But I can't imagine if they're aftermarket, they probably went off an aftermarket axle build and just reinforced it. I've had problems with axles in the past on other Hondas, but nothing like I have with the CRV. The CRV seems to be a very interesting creature. It's very weird. It's like it's cursed with, it's an awesome vehicle, great fucking vehicle, don't get me wrong, but it's like it's cursed in the parts world. I really feel like because it's so close to design built as an EK Civic, I believe that some of these manufacturers were like, oh, okay, well, it's this, it'll work to a certain point. But then the axles, it's a B series transmission. There was the B16, Civic Si, and I don't know about other countries. I believe there was some B series in them too, for different models. So I don't know. I just feel like it's a big mix-up with the CRV, and the CRV kind of became the mutt of the problem. I don't know. You guys tell me. I've seen a lot of different things on the Facebook pages, and I've seen people run into so many of these problems with similar things, all being just a little bit different. Same thing like Ben will tell you. Is with lifting the CRVs, they all seem to be a little different. That's why I recommend that if you're going to lift or lower, just go all new suspension. Just save your money and just go all new suspension. Replace everything at once and go from there. If you can. If you can't, go through it, but you just know you're probably going to run into a bunch of errors. You'll eventually get it straight, but it is going to be a headache. So I just want to let you guys know that that's going to be just the unboxing video for the rack and pinion from Detroit Axle for a first generation CRV. I highly recommend it. From looking at this now, I'll let you guys know once I get it in and how it does about a month after. I'll let you know if I still recommend it then. But looking at it, this is one of the better built rack and pinions that I didn't get directly from Honda. That I've seen. Actually, it looks very, very good quality, like up to par with Honda. So yeah, we'll find out in time. But yeah, have a good one, guys. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about other problems and other things with the CRVs. It's interesting. I would like to get with Ben and everybody, and just from HRG, and have like a list of common problems that people are going to go through, and some kind of thing on either Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook. I think it would be good for those, because those are the main areas where everybody's at for those. I think it'd be good to have like a common problem and a common look for list. Like, look for this if you're going to do this kind of thing, because you're going to run into these issues possibly. And if we can get more people talking about it, it'd be interesting. I'd be really interested to know, because there's a lot of people building these right now. There's just hot commodity for these first gen CRVs. And honestly, if I don't have to, I don't want to get rid of mine, because it's a great freaking vehicle. I think it's just so well equipped for both, from having fun for speed to having fun for lifted. So many possibilities: H2B swaps, J swaps, K swaps, even the all-wheel drive. They're finding different things to move things around. I think the CRV has a bright future if people don't give up on it. And I think if we can get a common problem list of things run into, it'll help people for future builds. But that's gonna be it. I'm done ranting. All right, have a good one, guys.